A leader decides to rise even when life keeps pushing them down, because leadership is not born in comfort. It is forged in struggle. When obstacles appear one after another, when failure feels personal, and when the weight of disappointment becomes heavy, a leader makes a conscious choice not to surrender to circumstances. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" a leader asks, "What is this trying to teach me?" Rising in these moments does not mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging the hardship and still choosing forward movement. Every setback becomes a classroom, every fall becomes a lesson, and every moment of doubt becomes an opportunity to strengthen inner resolve. While others may pause, complain, or retreat, a leader understands that progress often begins when comfort ends. Rising also means refusing to let life define personal limits. Life will test patience, confidence, and belief, pushing hard enough to make quitting seem reasonable. But a leader knows that strength is not revealed when things are easy. It is revealed when everything feels stacked against success. Choosing to rise is choosing responsibility over excuses, growth over fear, and purpose over pain. Even when energy is low and support is absent, a leader taps into discipline and vision, standing up one more time than being knocked down. That decision to rise again and again builds character, credibility, and influence. Over time, this relentless refusal to stay down transforms struggle into strength and resistance into resilience, proving that true leadership begins the moment someone decides that life will not have the final word. A leader takes responsibility, not excuses, because responsibility is the foundation of trust, growth, and true influence. Instead of pointing fingers or blaming circumstances, a leader looks inward and asks, "What could I have done better?" When plans fail or results fall short, a leader does not hide behind explanations or external factors. Ownership becomes the first response. This mindset shifts power back into the leader's hands, because taking responsibility means recognizing the ability to change outcomes through better decisions, stronger preparation, and clearer action. Excuses may protect pride for a moment, but responsibility builds credibility for a lifetime. A leader understands that every choice, good or bad, carries a lesson, and those lessons are what shape wisdom and progress. Taking responsibility also sets a powerful example for others to follow. People are naturally drawn to those who stand firm under pressure and own both success and failure with integrity. When a leader accepts accountability, it creates an environment of honesty, learning, and improvement rather than fear and avoidance. Responsibility demands courage because it requires admitting mistakes, correcting course, and committing to higher standards. But through this discipline, a leader earns respect and trust, not through words, but through consistent action. By rejecting excuses and embracing responsibility, a leader transforms challenges into opportunities and obstacles into stepping stones, proving that leadership is not about being perfect. It is about being accountable and committed to growth. A leader believes before results appear, because belief is the starting point of every meaningful achievement. Long before progress is visible, before recognition arrives, and before evidence confirms the effort, a leader holds a clear vision of what is possible. This belief is not blind optimism. It is a deep inner conviction that fuels action when external proof is missing. While others wait for confirmation before committing, a leader moves forward, guided by faith in the process and confidence in purpose. In moments of uncertainty, belief becomes the anchor that steadies the mind and strengthens resolve. It allows a lead to invest time, energy, and effort into a future that has not yet taken shape, trusting that consistency and discipline will eventually bring results into reality. Believing before results appear also requires emotional strength and patience. There are long stretches where effort seems unnoticed and progress feels painfully slow. And during these times, doubt can be loud and persistent. A leader learns to quiet that doubt by focusing on preparation, learning, and daily improvement rather than immediate outcomes. This belief sustains momentum, encouraging persistence when quitting would be easier and safer. Over time, this unwavering confidence becomes contagious. inspiring others to trust the vision and commit to the journey. When results finally emerge, they are not a surprise. They are the natural outcome of sustained belief matched with consistent action. In this way, a leader proves that belief is not a reaction to success. It is the cause of it. A leader keeps going when motivation is gone, because leadership is powered by discipline, not feelings. Motivation is temporary. It rises and falls with mood, energy, and circumstances. A leader understands that waiting to feel inspired is a dangerous habit, especially when responsibilities are heavy and expectations are high. When excitement fades and enthusiasm disappears, a leader relies on commitment, the promise made to a vision greater than comfort. In those quiet moments when no one is watching and progress feels slow, continuing to move forward becomes an act of character. This ability to act without emotional drive separates leaders from followers, proving that true strength shows up after the excitement is gone. Continuing without motivation also builds resilience and inner authority. Every step taken during exhaustion, doubt, or frustration strengthens mental endurance and sharpens focus. A leader learns to honor the process, understanding that consistency creates momentum even when passion is absent. By showing up daily, doing the work, refining skills, and maintaining standards, a leader develops trust in self and earns respect from others. Over time, this steady persistence compounds into results that motivation alone could never sustain. In choosing to continue when quitting feels justified, a leader transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary impact, demonstrating that leadership is not about how one feels, but about what one commits to do. A leader speaks life, not fear, because words carry power long before actions are seen. What a leader says can either lift people up or silently limit their potential. In moments of uncertainty, when fear tries to dominate the atmosphere, a leader chooses language that inspires confidence, clarity, and possibility. Speaking life means focusing on solutions instead of problems, progress instead of panic, and growth instead of doubt. A leader understands that fear spreads quickly, but so does belief, and the tone of every situation is often set by the words spoken at the right moment. By choosing encouragement over negativity, a leader creates an environment where people feel capable, valued, and willing to move forward. Speaking life also requires awareness and responsibility. A leader knows that careless words can damage morale and weaken trust, especially during challenging times. Instead of allowing fear-based language to take control, a leader communicates with intention, reinforcing hope even when outcomes are uncertain. This does not mean ignoring reality or pretending difficulties do not exist. It means addressing challenges with courage and constructive vision. Over time, consistently speaking life builds confidence within teams and strengthens collective belief. People begin to see obstacles as temporary and effort as meaningful. Through this deliberate choice of words, a leader shapes mindset, fuels resilience, and proves that leadership is not only demonstrated through action, but also through the life-giving power of speech. A leader shows up prepared, even when unnoticed, because preparation is a personal standard, not a performance for applause. True leadership is revealed in the moments when no recognition is promised and no audience is watching. A leader understands that excellence is built in private long before it is displayed in public. Showing up prepared means studying, practicing, planning, and refining skills even when the effort seems invisible. While others wait to be seen before giving their best, a leader gives full commitment regardless of attention. This quiet discipline creates confidence because preparation removes fear and replaces uncertainty with readiness. Being prepared when unnoticed also builds integrity and long-term credibility. A leader does not rely on last-minute effort or external validation to perform well. Preparation becomes a habit, a way of life. In time, opportunities arise unexpectedly, and when they do, the prepared leader is ready to step forward. D, with clarity and competence. Those unseen hours of work begin to speak louder than words, earning trust and respect naturally. This commitment to preparation demonstrates patience and self-respect, proving that leadership is not about being seen, it is about being ready. Through consistent preparation, even in silence, a leader positions for impact when the moment finally arrives. A leader chooses growth over comfort because comfort keeps potential hidden while growth demands transformation. Comfort feels safe, familiar, and predictable, but it rarely challenges limits or expands capability. A leader understands that staying where it is easy may feel good in the moment, yet it slowly weakens ambition and dulls progress. Choosing growth means willingly stepping into discomfort, learning new skills, facing difficult conversations, accepting criticism, and embracing uncertainty. This decision requires courage because growth often comes with mistakes and temporary failure. But a leader values long-term development more than short-term ease, knowing that every uncomfortable step forward builds strength, confidence, and competence. Choosing growth over comfort also shapes mindset and character. A leader becomes adaptable, resilient, and open to continuous learning, even when the process is challenging. Instead of avoiding pressure, a leader uses it as a tool for improvement. Comfort asks, why risk it? While growth asks, who can I become? By consistently choosing growth, a leader expands vision and raises personal standards, inspiring others to do the same. Over time, what once felt uncomfortable becomes normal, and new levels of responsibility and influence become achievable. This commitment to growth proves that leadership is not about maintaining ease. It is about evolving into the best version possible. A leader controls attitude, not circumstances, because circumstances are often unpredictable, but attitude is always a personal choice. Life will present unexpected challenges, delays, criticism, and pressure, none of which can be fully controlled. A leader understands that reacting emotionally to every situation gives power away, so instead, focus is placed on mindset and response. By choosing a calm, focused, and solution-oriented attitude, a leader remains steady even in chaos. This inner control creates clarity, allowing better decisions to be made under stress. Rather than being shaped by external events, a leader shapes the experience through perspective, turning obstacles into opportunities for learning and growth. Controlling attitude also influences everyone around the leader. People watch closely during difficult moments, and the leader's response sets the emotional tone for the group. A positive and resilient attitude builds confidence, while a negative one spreads uncertainty and fear. A leader does not deny difficulty, but refuses to be defeated by it. By maintaining optimism, discipline, and composure, a leader demonstrates emotional strength and maturity. Over time, this consistent mindset builds trust and stability, showing others that challenges can be faced without losing direction or purpose. In mastering attitude, a leader proves that true power lies not in controlling the world, but in controlling the self. A leader stands alone if necessary, because leadership is guided by values, not popularity. There are moments when the right decision is not the easy one, and when following the crowd means compromising integrity. In such moments, a leader is willing to walk a lonely path, trusting inner conviction over external approval. Standing alone requires courage because it often invites criticism, misunderstanding, and resistance. Yet a leader understands that progress has never been created by comfort or consensus alone. When vision is clear and principles are strong, a leader chooses what is right, even when support is absent and affirmation is silent. Standing alone also strengthens inner confidence. B, moral authority. A leader learns to rely on purpose rather than praise and conviction rather than validation. This independence builds resilience because it teaches the ability to remain steady under pressure and remain committed during uncertainty. Over time, what begins as solitude often becomes influence, as others recognize the strength and clarity behind the decision. People are drawn to consistency and courage, especially when they see someone stand firm without compromise. By being willing to stand alone, a leader proves that leadership is not about following voices. It is about being guided by vision, responsibility, and unwavering belief. A leader turns failures into fuel because failure is not viewed as an ending but as valuable information. Instead of allowing mistakes to create shame or discouragement, a leader studies them with honesty and purpose. Every setback reveals what needs improvement, what must be adjusted, and what strength has yet to be developed. Where heirs see defeat, a leader sees direction. This perspective transforms disappointment into determination and frustration into focus. By extracting lessons from failure, a leader gains clarity and resilience, using past missteps as motivation to return stronger, wiser, and more prepared. Turning failure into fuel also builds emotional endurance and confidence. Each time a leader recovers from failure, fear loses its power. The experience proves that falling does not define capability, responding does. A leader uses failure as a reminder of commitment to growth, pushing harder, planning smarter, and refining strategy. Over time, these experiences accumulate, creating depth, humility, and strength of character. What once felt like a setback becomes the very force that drives progress forward. In this way, a leader demonstrates that failure is not an obstacle to success. It is often the energy that propels it. A leader acts with vision, not emotion, because emotions are temporary, but visio provides direction. In moments of pressure, disappointment, or excitement, emotions can cloud judgment and lead to impulsive decisions. A leader recognizes these feelings but does not allow them to control actions. Instead, decisions are guided by long-term goals, purpose, and values. Acting with vision means pausing, thinking beyond the present moment, and considering the impact of each choice. This discipline allows a leader to remain focused even when situations are emotionally charged, ensuring that actions align with direction rather than reaction. Acting with vision also builds stability and trust. People rely on leaders who remain consistent and clear-headed, especially during uncertainty. A leader who is ruled by emotion may change direction frequently, creating confusion and instability. In contrast, a leader anchored in vision provides confidence and clarity, even when difficult decisions must be made. Over time, this ability to separate feeling from function strengthens credibility and influence. By choosing vision over emotion, a leader demonstrates maturity, wisdom, and purpose, proving that effective leadership is not about how strongly one feels in the moment, but about how clearly one sees the future. A leader builds discipline daily because discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. Motivation may ignite the journey, but discipline sustains it through routine, responsibility, and repetition. A leader understands that greatness is not created in a single moment of effort, but through small, consistent actions practiced every day. Waking up on time, honoring commitments, refining skills, and staying focused even when progress feels slow are all expressions of discipline. These daily choices may seem ordinary, but over time they compound into extraordinary results. A leader does not wait for the right mood to act. Discipline becomes the structure that keeps purpose moving forward. Building discipline daily also strengthens self-respect and reliability. Each time a leader follows through on commitments, confidence grows and trust is reinforced, both internally and externally. Discipline creates stability in learned environments and provides direction when distractions are everywhere. Through repetition, discipline transforms effort into habit and vision into reality. A leader who practices discipline daily becomes dependable, resilient, and focused, able to withstand pressure without losing direction. In committing to discipline every day, a leader proves that success is not accidental. It is built deliberately, one choice at a time. A leader serves others by example because actions communicate far more powerfully than words ever could. True leadership is not about giving commands from a distance, but about demonstrating the standards, values, and work ethic expected from others. When a leader shows integrity, discipline, and commitment through daily behavior, it creates clarity and trust. People are inspired when they see consistency between what is said and what is done. By leading through example, a leader earns respect naturally, not through authority, but through authenticity and credibility. Serving by example also creates a culture of accountability and excellence. A leader who works with humility, listens actively, and remains willing to learn sets a powerful tone for growth and collaboration. This approach encourages others to rise to higher standards because they feel supported rather than controlled. Over time, example-driven leadership builds unity, loyalty, and shared purpose. Follow not because they are forced to, but because they believe in the leader's character. Through consistent action and service-minded behavior, a leader proves that leadership is not about position. It is about influence rooted in example. A leader never stops becoming because leadership is a continuous journey of growth, learning, and self-discovery. There is no final destination where development ends and mastery is complete. A leader understands that the moment growth stops, effectiveness begins to decline. Curiosity, humility, and a willingness to evolve keep a leader relevant and impactful. By constantly learning from experience, feedback, and challenges, a leader refines perspective and expands capability. This commitment to becoming ensures that leadership remains dynamic, adaptable, and responsive to change. Never stopping becoming also requires self-awareness and intentional effort. A leader regularly evaluates strengths, identifies limitations, and seeks improvement without ego or fear. Growth may involve unlearning old habits, embracing new ideas, or stepping into unfamiliar roles. Through this process, a leader remains open, resilient, and forward-thinking. Over time, this dedication to continuous development inspires others to pursue growth as well. By choosing to keep becoming, a leader proves that leadership is not defined by what has been achieved, but by the ongoing commitment to evolve into a better version each day.